'Tis the season to be lonely. I want to go over the 5 things that I miss most about my home country or my hometown. And then I'm going to cover the 5 things that you can do if you live in another country to kind of help get by those holiday seasons. Hey, what's up, herd? JJ the Lonely Bull in Asia. I've been traveling to Southeast Asia for the last 9 years. I've lived in the Philippines for almost 3 years and have been visiting Thailand for over 2 years now. And now for the last couple of months, I actually live in Bangkok, Thailand. So I want to share my experiences of being in Southeast Asia with you. All right, let's get into this. So, we just finished Thanksgiving, and now we're getting into the heart of the holiday season with Christmas Eve and Christmas coming up, and then, of course, New Year's Eve and New Year's too. So this time of year, it could be especially tough for foreigners and expats who are living abroad to start really missing their home a little bit. And this could be a really tough time. And, depression could set in, just that loneliness, that lonely feeling. So I want to go over 5 things that I miss most about being back at home, back in the U.S. Number one is I miss family and I miss my friends from back in the U.S. So that's always got to be number one on the list because, I love my family with all my heart. And, I've got sisters, I've got cousins, I've got sons, and it's just it kind of that's this time of year it can be a little bit harder on people that live overseas and don't get to see their family all the time. So I miss the times together with my family and my sisters and my cousins and all that. I really miss that time of year, that time together. And then this time of year it can be a little harder to get through because the holidays are a special time of year where you're used to spending it with family and friends. And when you don't have that opportunity to be with your family, it can be a little difficult. So that would be the number one thing I miss most from the U.S. during this time of year. Number 2 would be those big dinners, those big Thanksgiving dinners and the Christmas dinners and even New Year's Eve. It starts with Thanksgiving dinner. We always did it up big. We did the turkey and the stuffing and the mashed potatoes and gravy, the candied yams, the green bean casserole, the pumpkin pie with the whipped cream. You name it, we did it. It was big and it was always big and it was so good. It's probably top 2 or 3 of my favorite dinners of all time would be the turkey dinner with all the fixings. So Thanksgiving is the big start for that, and absolutely loved it. And that would be my number 2 on the list would be those big dinners. And then of course Christmas, the same thing. When I was married, we got into a tradition of we did the turkey too, but I was kind of in charge of cooking for the big dinners. So I cooked the turkey and I also did a prime rib. So we got a big, either 6 or an 8-pound prime rib that we fed everybody. And it was so good. And of course the leftovers after, you got the turkey leftovers where you can make hot turkey sandwiches with the mashed potatoes and the gravy over the top, or you can just make a regular turkey sandwich, or you can do the prime rib sandwiches, whatever your leftovers were. That's what's so great about the holidays, because you got the leftovers. And I always got a turkey that was really big. I always overdid it with the size because I knew there would be a lot of leftovers, and there's nothing better than having leftover turkey or leftover prime rib after a big Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner. That's the best thing ever. So that's the thing I miss. That's number 2 thing I miss about the holiday season in the U.S. Number 3 would be Christmas morning. we opened our presents on Christmas morning, not on Christmas Eve. So we were kind of traditionalists in that respect. So that was neat. When you're a kid, obviously, it was all about you and what presents that you were going to get. But then when you became an adult and you had kids, it became not so much about what you were getting. It was more about what you were giving them, and to see the smiles on their faces when they open up those presents. And we overdid it. I mean, we really overdid it when I was married. We had kids. I had 3 stepkids and a son. And what we would do is we would open one present on Christmas Eve. That was our tradition. And they were always pajama pants. So everybody got a pair of pajama pants for Christmas Eve. And so they would all go to bed in their pajama pants. And then my wife and I, we would stay up late and wrap presents, because we didn't have any presents under the tree, because all the presents came from Santa Claus. So we wrapped all the presents. We were up till like 3 or 3:30 in the morning, drinking wine, listening to Christmas music. That was our neat little tradition, and wrapping presents and put them all that says from Santa and put them under the tree. So when the kids woke up early on Christmas morning, they saw all those presents under the tree. So it was kind of a cool tradition. They knew, when they got older, they knew it wasn't from Santa, but we kept the tradition going even after the kids got old enough to understand all that. But that was neat. That was our tradition. So Christmas morning was always something that I look forward to, whether I was young or old. I always look forward to that. So that would be the number 3 thing I miss most about being back in the U.S. during the holidays, is that Christmas morning with your family. And then number 4 would be, and I only miss this during the holidays, I don't miss this any other time, would be the snow and the cold weather. It's so neat to be able to celebrate a real white Christmas. And when that snow comes down, especially with the big flakes and there's no wind and it's just falling slow. You walk outside and there's that crisp cold air, it's just so neat. It's just a neat feeling. It's so nice to enjoy that just for, Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's. After New Year's, get rid of the snow. I don't want the snow and I don't want the cold anymore. I'm ready for spring. But in that 4-week period between Thanksgiving and Christmas, or 6 weeks between Thanksgiving and New Year's, I'm okay with a little snow and I'm okay with a little chill. But after that, I'm not. But yeah, that's another thing I miss. That would be number 4 on my list, is missing that snow during Christmas time. That was kind of cool. You don't get any of that here in Bangkok in Thailand. And finally, number 5 on the list of 5 most important things that I miss about being back in the U.S. during the holidays, and that's watching football games. I'm a huge football fan, especially college football. But, this time of year, you're into the bowl games, the college bowl games, and you're also getting into the NFL playoffs. And that's, football is my favorite sport of all time. So I just love the fact, and I can watch it here, but you can't watch it with your family or your friends. That's what's so fun about it. You go there, you're watching, Thanksgiving Day or the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. I watched Nebraska and Iowa back in the day. It was Nebraska, Oklahoma, and then it became Nebraska, Colorado. And then when we joined the Big Ten, it was Nebraska, Iowa. So you watch those big games on that Friday after Thanksgiving. The women are out shopping or whatever, and the guys are, they're eating leftover Thanksgiving dinner and they're drinking beer and watching football. That's great. And then the bowl games start in December, all through the new year. You're watching teams you never even watched before, but it's a bowl game. So it's like, oh, this matchup looks pretty good. I think I'll watch it, So you watch all these bowl games, and now with the playoffs in college football, you're really geared up for those playoff games coming up. And, it's just better when you're watching it with friends and family. So, I miss that. And same with the NFL playoffs too. And the Super Bowl, I watched the Super Bowl with friends. When I was in the Philippines, we'd go to some of these clubs that would show the Super Bowl. So we get there like 7 in the morning. And it's kind of weird, watching the Super Bowl at 7 a.m. And, usually when you're back in the U.S., you're watching the game and it starts at 6 or 7 at night, and you're drinking beer or whatever, and having, nachos or whatever dip or whatever snacks you got for your Super Bowl party, but you're doing that, and it's just kind of weird to think about drinking beer at 7 a.m. on a Monday morning in the Philippines or in Southeast Asia. So, I enjoyed being with my friends, watching the Super Bowl here in Southeast Asia, but I just couldn't get into the whole thing like I could back in the U.S. Just the time difference, just made it feel a little odd. But yeah, so watching bowl games, watching Super Bowl, watching playoff games with family and friends, that would be the number 5 thing I miss most during this time of year. Now, before I get into the 5 things that you can do if you live overseas, away from home, that will help you get through the holidays, make sure you smash that like button if you like content. Hit that subscriber button. So subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. That way I can keep sharing my experiences with you. And we're coming up on 12,000 subscribers. So thank you so much. Maybe by Christmas this year, I'll pass that 12,000 subscriber mark, which would be fantastic, because I was only thinking I'd hit 5,000 by the end of this year. So look at where I am now. So let's go over the 5 things you can do to help you get through the holiday season and not miss home so much. Okay. So number 1 would be make friends here. Don't be afraid to get out there and make some friends, people with same interests. And I'm not talking about drinking as an interest. Yeah, you could go out with your friends and have a drink on occasion, but don't overdo it. But just make some friends, whether they're from your country or from other countries. Expand that horizon of friendship, and have a nice circle of friends that you can call up and do something with, whenever you are in the mood to do something, or whenever you feel like you need to get out of your house or out of your condo. But number 1 would be to make friends. Number 2 is get a hobby. I'm going to start up in a pickleball group. So I've never played pickleball before, but I'm going to start it up. I was going to do it last week, but something came up. I couldn't do it. So when I get back from Vietnam, I'm traveling to Vietnam soon. When I get back from Vietnam, I'll start doing this pickleball group. They meet every Friday. So down on Sukhumvit in Bangkok. So I'm going to start that up, start your hobby. I have my golf clubs here. I'm going to start golfing again. I'm excited about that. I got a couple of buddies that they're golfers too. So I don't have to go out alone. I can go out with some friends, but get a hobby, join a book club, whatever it is, whatever you want to do, but get a hobby so you're not sitting at home or sitting in your condo, feeling sorry for yourself and just not enjoying your life, So get friends, get a hobby. Number 3 on the list is expand a little bit. See new things that you haven't seen before. Do new things that you haven't done before. In other words, don't just keep doing the same thing over and over again. So, if you go to the same bar or the same restaurant every day, or every time you go out, it's always the same restaurant. You eat the same thing every time, or you always go to the same areas. So like, for instance, here in Bangkok, you're always going to, let's just say, a soak on Sukhumvit, and you're hanging out at Terminal 21, which is a great mall. And they got some nice restaurants there, nice food. But if you do it every time, and that's the only place you go, then you're not expanding your horizons. So that's what I mean. Expand your horizons. Go to different places. Don't just spend all your time on Sukhumvit Road or wherever you're at. Try new places. Check out new things. Check out new food, different places to go to eat. Explore a little bit. And that'll keep you excited about getting up the next day, because you're planning on doing something a little different, and maybe even don't plan it. Just leave your condo or leave your house or apartment and just decide, I'm going to get on the train and I'm going to go to this location, this station. I've never been there before. So I'm going to stop there and I'm just going to walk around and see what's there. just it's sometimes it's fun to get lost, so just do that. That would be number 3. Number 4 on the list, and I kind of go over this before, but don't just stay home, and don't pick up bad habits. In other words, if you like drinking beer, don't make a habit of it every day. Cut it down to once, maybe twice a week, and don't overdo it those times you go out. I see expats all the time, and if I'm walking around, they're probably going to the same bar every day, drinking who knows how many beers or whatever, and they do that every day, and that's not a good life. That's a miserable life, and that's a bad habit to get into. Now, there's a lot of cannabis stores around here too, and that's another habit you can get into, is being stoned all the time. That's not what I do. I don't do that at all. But I know some people that do recreationally, obviously, which is fine, to each his own. But, don't do it every day. Don't be stoned all the time. You can't go through life that. You end up being like that kid on Dazed and Confused, the movie. He's always with the long hair and he's always stoned. Don't be that guy. But in other words, don't pick up those bad habits. Don't hang out at Soy Cowboy every night, looking for bar girls or whatever. If those are things you like to do it minimally. Don't make a habit of doing it every night or 4 or 5 nights a week. That could be detrimental to your health, not only physical, but mental health too. And number 5, once again, make sure you hit that like button if you like what you see. Put in your comments if you have any other ideas on what you can do to cope from being lonely during the holiday season. So number 5 thing to do to get through the holiday season a little nicer, get a girlfriend. You can find a girl here. It's not that hard. When I was living in the Philippines, I had a great girlfriend. I dated quite a bit, and then I found a really good one. But I haven't really gotten to that point yet here. But yeah, find a girlfriend, and she'll get you through the holidays. Most Southeast Asian women, Thai girls, Filipina, they like to take care of their guy. They like you to take care of them, but in return, they will take care of you also. They're very nurturing. So they'll get you through those rough periods when you're feeling a little lonely, missing home a little bit over the holiday season. Now, they may not celebrate Christmas like you do. Obviously, they wouldn't celebrate Thanksgiving because that's an American holiday. That's an American tradition. But they will celebrate with you. Obviously, they'll celebrate New Year's Eve. They'll love to do that. And then Chinese New Year's comes, I think, late January this coming year. So you've got that to look forward to also. So yeah, get a girlfriend, and she'll make it a little easier for you to get through the holidays. Now, we just finished Thanksgiving a few weeks ago, and we're getting up on Christmas season real quick. I was lucky enough to have some close friends that I made here, and we got together and had a nice Thanksgiving meal. Now, we didn't have the traditional turkey. Now, there were places around Bangkok where you could do that, but I didn't really look into it. We just met at a restaurant, and we just had dinner and just enjoyed each other's company over Thanksgiving. So it was kind of nice to get out of the house and not think about Thanksgiving and being back home. So I've been away from home for over 3 years now. So these holidays are getting a little easier, but every year you still miss being at home over the holidays. So I hope that this helps you, and I want you to have a great holiday season. Hopefully you can talk to your family, maybe do some FaceTime, whatever the case may be. But, just try to enjoy what you have here, because there's so much to offer here in Bangkok and Thailand and the Philippines and anywhere in Southeast Asia, wherever you may be. If you're thinking about coming out here, think about these things too, because if you're not coming out till next year, you're going to run into this next year. So just keep that in mind. And I want you to have yourself a great holiday. and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and live life, my friend. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.